Padaradavindusayuktam Nityam Dhyayanti Yogina Kamadam Mokshadam Chaiva Omkaraya Namo Namaha. Om Shalapuruj Mahadeva Ki Jai, Devadadev Deveshwar Mahadeva Ki Jai, Shrideep Narayan Bhagavan Ki Jai, Hindu Dharam Samrat Paramahansa Swami Sri Madhavanand Puruji Sadgurdev Bhagavan Ki Jai, Vishnu Guru Mahamandaleshwar Paramahansa Swami Sri Maheshwaranand Puruji Yogaraj Ki Jai. Salutations to the Cosmic Self, salutations to Srila Puruji Siddhapit Parampara. Pranam, Dandavat Pranam to beloved Gurudev, His Holiness Vishnu Guru Mahamandaleshwar Maheshwaranand Puruji, with whose blessings the knowledge is flowing through me, His divine knowledge, which today we will be talking and I will be sharing to you about who is a true Guru. What is a true Guru? We all have heard these beautiful chants of Sri Guru Gita. Sri Guru Gita is the conversation between Lord Shiva and Parvati, where he's telling the greatness of Sri Gurudev in the same way as Lord Krishna, and the conversation between Lord Krishna and Arjuna is known as the Bhagavad Gita. Many of those words are now misinterpreted or misused in a different way. The love, which is now used a lot in many phrases, is a different love in this worldly love and the love and devotion between a guru and a bhakta. Or the meaning of a guru, or the word guru, that's the greatest word, that's the greatest meaning, but that has slowly in different people's mind has different meanings of the word of guru. In the Gita, in the Upanishads, in the Vedas, everywhere, in the Guru Gita itself, Lord Shiva, what the chanting of Lord Shiva which he had with Mata Parvati, is one of the oldest scriptures ever found. The words of Lord Shiva is the oldest words in the whole universe. In the Bhagavad Gita also it said that Guru Brahma, Guru Vishnu, Guru Devo Maheshwara, matlab, which means Guru is Brahma, Guru is Vishnu, and Guru is Mahesh. There is no one greater than Shri Gurudev. I'll tell you a beautiful story of two ants which I heard from Vishnu Guruji. There were two mountains. One mountain was a mountain of salt, and one mountain was a mountain of sugar. And there were two colonies of ants living in those mountains. One day, one ant from the sugar colony came, and one ant from the salt, and they both met down in the common valley. And there, the one from the sugar asked the ant from the salt colony, "From where did you come?" He said, I came from the sugar colony." He said, "That's not possible. I am from the sugar colony. I know that there are two colonies here, so you must have came from the salt colony." He said, No, I am from the sugar colony. You must be from the salt colony." Then the sugar colony ant said, "Why don't we do one thing? I invite you to come to my home for a cup of coffee." So then the salt colony ant agreed to it. He said, "Sure. I accept your invitation. I will come tomorrow." So the next day, the ant from the salt colony, he had doubts. You know, when you go to an unknown person, you don't know what to expect. You don't know if you will get something to eat or drink. So what did he do? He took a lump of salt and put it under his tongue, assuming that if he wouldn't get anything, he would still have salt to eat. But for him, that salt was sugar basically. It wasn't salt because he was thinking that this is sugar. He never tasted sugar, so he never knew the true taste or true essence of the sugar. So when he went there to the colony of the sugar ants, they had a cup of coffee, and then later the ant offered the other ant a lump of sugar. If you remember, I told you that he had a lump of salt in his mouth. So when he took the lump of sugar, it mixed with the salt and it tasted salty. So he said, this is what I eat every day. This is salt. This is not sugar. This is the same. The other ant was smart, so he was a little bit suspicious. He said, could you please open your mouth? Let me see what is in your mouth. Then when he opened his mouth, he saw that there was salt and sugar both inside. He said, please go and rinse your mouth and then come back and then taste it again. Salt ant went, rinsed his mouth, came back, he tasted it again. He said, this is really sweet. This is like nectar. This is something which I have never tasted. Could you please give me some more? And the sugar ant said, yeah, sure. And if you would like more, just why don't you move here? You shift here, you live here with me. You will have unlimited supply of sugar. In the same way, it's here with us. It's like we humans are living in two different planes. It is so if like we are living in two different planets. One is the spirituality and one is of the worldliness. For the people who are living in the worldliness, for them it is very hard to understand the deep depth of the knowledge of the Sri Gurudev which he teaches us. It's like they have a lump of salt. For them to come into spirituality, they have to rinse their mouth and they have to taste the nectar of the spiritual world. And who gives that nectar? A true Guru. Sri Gurudev, who comes from a great lineage like Sri Alapurji Siddhapit Parampara, where the divine nectar, where the divine light is passed on from Sri Mahaprabhuji to Guruji to Swamiji and now to all of us. We all are nothing in front of them. We all are the dust particles of their lotus feet. So whatever I'm saying is the knowledge which I am gaining from them. We are just like particles of tiny sand in front of them. They have great powers and great shaktis. And what is the ultimate goal for us? Self-realization. It's liberation from this worldly world. Truly we feel like there are two different laws, law of worldliness and world of spirituality. But after all, there is only one law, and that is the universal divine law. Yes, in the world we all have, every country has its own laws, every province, every state, every district, even every village has its own rules and regulations. If we go into a household, every different house would have every different rules. A father would have his own rules, mother would have his own rules, children have their own opinions. If we go in a city, some traffic rules are that there is one way, on a few streets later it's two ways, then one way coming, one way going. Everywhere there are different rules, but eventually at the end there is only one divine rule. Our beloved Dada Guruji, Holy Guruji, he used to always say, all in one and one in all. We all are the children of the one Supreme Self. Christians call him God or Holy Father. In the Vedas it's called Ishwar, Bhagavan. Muslims call him Allah. But they all are messengers of God. And the Guru is the highest Supreme Self who guides us to that. In the Bhagavad Gita, Sri Krishna says to Arjuna, surrender yourself to me. Devote your dedication, devotion to your Guru, to your Sri Gurudev, to me, and I will show you the path. Follow me and I will show you the path. Jesus also said, I am the path to the God. Follow me. So these are Jesus, Krishna, they all are gurus and we all are the disciples, and they are the one who are showing us the path towards liberation, towards self-realization. And it's hard. The two things which basically stops us from achieving that goal is ego and money. I am this, I am the greatest person. There is no greater person than me. I should be the highest. I have this in my life. That's your ego speaking. And because of ego, we need to achieve money, and that's why we are drawn to doing bad deeds and bad karmas and doing other things which are not good for us, just because of money. And with that, we don't manage to go and achieve those higher spiritual paths. For example, there was one great person who said that you don't need to be known, you don't need to be famous, you don't need people to know you. If you do something great, you don't need to be very rich to be famous. There are great gurus who don't have anything, but their knowledge, their divine knowledge is so great that people are automatically attracted towards them. The well will not go towards the thirsty. The thirsty, us bhaktas, have to come in search of a guru to gain the knowledge, to gain that water from the well. In the same way, like the sun is so bright, the sun doesn't come to everyone's house. Good morning, Avtarpuri, rise and shine. I have come out. Come on, wake up. If you would do this to all us human beings, then it would take ages. And in the night, he doesn't come and say, good night, I'm going, bye-bye. No. The brightness, the resonance is so bright that everyone rises when the sun rises. In the same way, the Guru's brightness, the Guru shines, his divinity is so bright that it shines all across the world, and everyone can automatically get attracted through the radiance and through the knowledge which is coming through the Sri Gurudev. And what do you think? Like, people think that after we die everything is over, don't you? I also thought so. But no, by the knowledge of Sri Gurudev, we know that after we die, nothing is over. Then we see things much more clearly. Then we see all the bad deeds, all the bad karmas which we have committed. And then we have to do paschatap, we still are roaming around in this chakra of rebirth. We again get reborn. So who is the one who can free us and liberate us from this cycle of born and I'm dying, and birth and death? It's the Sri Gurudev. We need a Sri Guru who can show you the path. It is very hard in these days to find a true Guru who can show us the path. There are only very rare lineages like Sri Alapurji Siddhapit Parampara, where the knowledge is flowing from Sri Alapurji to Sri Devpuruji to Sri Mahaprabhuji to Sri Holy Guruji and Vishnu Guruji, and then to all of us. As I said, we are nothing in front of them. We are the dust particles. We are like dust particles in their lotus feet. We don't have anything. We are just taking the knowledge from them and passing it towards everyone. Mahaprabhuji said that you can have a father and you can have a mother, and all creatures have parents. No matter if you're a dog, if you're a fish, if you're a bird, even human beings, we all have parents. But only human beings are so intellectual who can realize that we need a Sri Gurudev in our life, a Guru who can guide us. Only those. Guru Brahma, Guru Vishnu, Guru Devo Maheshwara. Rama Krishna se kaun bade usne bhi Guru ki. Lord Rama, Lord Krishna, they themselves have gurus. They all have had a spiritual lineage who comes generation by generation to teach them. Nowadays, unfortunately, there are many fake gurus. There are people who wear these robes in search of people and in search of getting money. They just need money. There was one beautiful story about a monk and a policeman. It is a real story. It happened in real life. It was told by Holy Guruji. Once upon a time there was a monk, and he was not so well dressed, he didn't wear fancy clothes, he didn't have 100 people walking behind him. He was wearing torn clothes, very simple living. And there was one policeman who was coming, and that policeman thought, I am a policeman, no matter who comes in my way, they all should move aside to make way for me. Why? There's this ego. We all are stuck in the net, in the web of ego. Ego pulls us down. Policeman, matlab, everyone should move aside. क्यों हटे भाई? किस कारणवश हमें, अगर आप पुलिस वाले तो हमें आपके लिए रास्ता देना पड़ेगा? नहीं. Guru is the highest. The policeman should realize that everyone are equal, everyone are great in their own ways. Why should someone move for you? No. So what he did, he got angry with that this man, this looking like a beggar monk, he's now moving aside. He took a stick, again ego. He took a stick and he started hitting the monk a few times. The monk is always in his zen, he's always peaceful, calm. Shanti mein sar hai, baki sab bekar. He was very peaceful. And what did he do? He said nothing. Only the words which came out of his mouth was, oh my dear, great person, you are going to be promoted to become the Chief Commissioner of Police. And he walked. He didn't say anything else. In the same evening, that policeman who hit that monk, he got a letter. He got a letter that you are going to be promoted tomorrow to become a Commissioner of Police. And then he felt so sorry, he went and searched everywhere for that sadhu. And when he found that sadhu, he went to his lotus feet and he made pranam. And he touched his lotus feet and he said, please forgive me. What can I do for you? The sadhu said nothing. The policeman said, please Gurudev, please forgive me. Please tell me. I would like to make it up for my sins. I would like to do something. Please tell me. He said, okay. Guru Dakshina, you bring me Guru Dakshina. And the Guru Dakshina is bring me one scorpion. The policeman was looking like, Guruji, are you sure? He said, yes, I am sure. Bring me one scorpion. The policeman for days and days, he looked everywhere, in the jungle, in the creeks, in the branches, in the soil, no sign of any scorpion. He didn't find the scorpion. He went back to Guruji, he said, Guruji, please forgive me, I couldn't find the scorpion. So then that monk said, come with me. And he took him to a graveyard. And he told him, raise the tomb. And when he raised the tomb, inside were scorpions nibbling on the corpse. And then the monk told that policeman, this is where you will also end. If you do bad karmas, no matter who you are, what you do, scorpions will nibble on your corpse. And he disappeared. Nothing. He just disappeared. So you should not judge a book by its cover. Nowadays, gurus intend to, now the world is like this, that dikhawati dunya hai. You need to show that people start respecting you, but no, you should never judge. You should never judge someone by his clothes. You should never judge by how the monk can come by foot, the monk can come by car, the monk can come by plane. But it's about the knowledge which the Sri Gurudev is preaching to us. It's not about how he is dressed, what he's wearing, no. Eventually, if you don't have a guru, you will end up in this janjal, in this web of birth and death. Nothing else. There's one more beautiful story of Bhagwan Shri Deepnarayan Mahaprabhuji. Same. Ego. Judging people. Who are we to judge anyone by their looks? Till you don't know the person, till you haven't listened to that great personality, how do you know if he's great or not? Sri Mahaprabhuji was once sitting calmly, peacefully, as his divine form. You can see how simple he was. Simplicity best. He had a shawl and he had a hat. It was time of winter, so he had a hat on his head and he had a blanket, which he, in the day, if you have seen Sri Mahaprabhuji's one famous picture there is, that is from that time, where he's wearing a cap, he has a blanket covering himself, and that same blanket in the night he used to cover and lie down with that blanket, and in the day he used to wrap it around himself. So then there was one South Indian, this is a true story, it is written in the biography of Sri Mahaprabhuji. Sorry. There was one saint from South India. He came in a fancy car, wearing silk clothes, few disciples with him, fancy shoes, because he had heard about Mahaprabhuji, that there was one great self-enlightened, self-knowing, greatest master in the North Indian province of Rajasthan. So then he came here to meet Sri Mahaprabhuji, to have the darshan. And when he got out the car, he saw the looks on Mahaprabhuji and he said, "What is this?" He felt ashamed. He felt shameful that he came here to see him. Who is he? He looks like a beggar, wearing torn clothes, wearing a blanket around him. Who is he? Sri Mahaprabhuji was Antaryami, Trikaldarshi. Guru Kripai Kevalam Shishya Ke Ananda Mangalam. The Guru is Antaryami. He knows your past, he knows your future, he knows your present, he knows everything. You can't play around with the Guru. Guru knows. So the Guru knew exactly who he was, what he was thinking, and why he came. So Sri Mahaprabhuji greeted him, and he said in a certain tone, he said that he understood, that the sadhu from South India understood. He said, "You are a monk who drinks alcohol and gambles and does many other bad things. I know everything." So immediately he went and said, "My Lord, please forgive me. I have my bhaktas with. Don't expose me, please. I'm sorry. Then Sri Mahaprabhuji said, "Because of you, the name of the saints, of the great monks of India are going down the drain. Because of you, and because of the type of the people you guide these innocent people, and you bring them towards you just because of your ego and because of money. And this is wrong." And then before they left, all his bhaktas came to Sri Mahaprabhuji and made pranam and realized that they can be true great sadhus who don't need to really dress up, simple, and still the greatest knowledge ever possible. And then Holy Guruji, one day, this is another story. Holy Guruji, our Dada Guruji, His Holiness Hindu Dharma Samrat Paramahansa Swami Sri Madhavanand Guruji, who I had the opportunity to have the divine darshan of him. I was not so old. I was 3.5, 4 years old when Holy Guruji took Mahasamadhi. So I didn't have the opportunity to be in his presence for too long, but yes, since I was born, I had the opportunity to be in his divine presence, by the grace of my Gurudev, Vishnu Guruji. With him, I was able to have the darshan of Holy Guruji. Holy Guruji was a very divine personality. He was the incarnation of Lord Krishna. He had a japamala, he had a sumarani in his hand, and he always used to do his Guru Mantra. Whenever I went to him, he was in his dhyana mudra, he was doing mala, mala, mala. And then I used to go to him and I used to make pranam and I used to say, Guruji Prasad. And he always used to hide his prasad under his pillow. He used to say, Prasad? No prasad, no prasad. Go to Maheshwaranandji, to Vishnu Guruji. I used to go to Swamiji Prasad. Go to Guruji. That's their divine lila. That's how they like to play with us and to bless us, to spread positivity and joy amongst us disciples. And then eventually he used to give prasad. So Holy Guruji, coming back to the point, Holy Guruji told this beautiful story about the simplicity of and the all-knowingness of Sri Mahaprabhuji, that Mahaprabhuji knew everything. He was Antaryami. So one day, Holy Guruji was a guest at a railway officer in Jaipur. So he was staying at his home and he was telling this beautiful story of Mahaprabhuji, that he knows everything and he should go and have darshan of Mahaprabhuji. Again, ego. So the railway officer didn't believe Holy Guruji. He said, this is all nonsense. Who can know everything? No one can know everything. So without telling Holy Guruji, this officer sent his servant and he said, go to Nagore, to Badi Khatu, and meet this person called Sri Mahaprabhuji and ask him. First, just don't say anything, just ask him, from where did I come? Who sent me? And then you come back and tell me the answers. So his servant took a night train from Jaipur, reached Badi Khatu in the morning, went to Badi Khatu ashram. He saw Mahaprabhuji in his body, and he was, that time it wasn't much, he was sitting under a banyan tree in a small tent on his bed. He didn't need to say anything. He just went and he said, Mahaprabhuji, I would like to, he went to Mahaprabhuji's disciples and asked, can we meet Mahaprabhuji? Mahaprabhuji said, yes, let him come in, come. You came from Jaipur, didn't you? How was your journey? Did Mr. So-and-so send you? The officer. Did he send you? Go and tell him. Before he could say anything, Mahaprabhuji told him, go and tell your officer who has sent you that he should go to Bombay, to the office of the Railway Commission, and outside of that office he should say, Om Shri Deep Jai Mahaprabhudeep Namaha. Om Jai Shri Mahaprabhudeep Namaha. Chant this and think about me, and he would get promotion. And then that servant immediately went back to Jaipur. He told the officer this and whatever he said, and immediately the officer went to Holy Guruji and touched his feet and said, I am grateful that you, the disciple of such a great lineage of Sri Mahaprabhuji, have put your lotus feet in my house. And he went to Bombay, and this all is a true story. This is all written in the Leela Amrit. And our beloved Gurudev, His Holiness Vishnu Guru Maheshwaranand Guruji, had the opportunity to meet this officer when he was alive. And he told this beautiful story to Vishnu Guruji. And this is how we can know who is a true Guru and who is a fake Guru. You don't need to doubt what they say, you just follow what they say. You don't doubt if the Guru knows something or doesn't know something. He always knows everything. Mahaprabhuji knew what was coming for him, and he told that yes, this will happen to you, and it happened. Gurus are Trikadashi Antaryami. So just follow them, just follow the path which they show you, and that is the path to liberation and to self-realization and to getting to be one with the Supreme Self. Deepa Niranjana Sabaduka Bhanjan, Prabhudeepa Niranjana Sabaduka Bhanjan. By chanting the name of Sri Mahaprabhuji, all the dukkha, all the sadness, all the unhappiness, everything goes away, and we are full of joy and prosperity and happiness. So the Guru Mantra Jap, which our beloved Gurudev gives us, we should do that jap, and we should listen to the satsangs. Satsang and kusang. We should not join the kusanga, we should come to satsang. We should listen to the vakyas, the holy knowledge which is coming out of Sri Gurudev's mouth. That is the greatest knowledge you can ever gain from anything. You won't gain the knowledge you won't gain the great knowledge in all the books and the scriptures which you will get from the Sri Gurudev. Just dedicate your devotion and everything, dhan, man and dhan, in the lotus feet of Gurudev without ego. Everything will be happy and you will be prosperous and you will be full of happiness in your life. With this, I'd like to conclude my speech today. May Srila Purja Siddhapit Parampara's blessings always be on you. May Sri Gurudev's blessings always be on you. Much love. Have a wonderful day, evening, night. Hari Om. Swasti prajabhyam paripalayantam nyayena margena mahin mahisha gau brahmanebhyo shubhamastu nityam loka samasta sukhino bhavantu. Om Shanti Shanti Shantir Bhavatu. Om Shalapurji Mahadeva Ki Jai. Deval Dev Deveshwar Mahadeva Ki Jai. Shri Narayan Bhagavan Ki Jai. Hindu Dharam Samrat Paramahansa Swami Sri Madhavanand Purji Sadgurudev Bhagavan Ki Jai. Vishwa Guru Mahamandaleshwar Paramahansa Swami Sri Maheshwaranand Purji Yogiraj Ki Jai. Har Namah Parvati Pate Har Har Mahadeva Shambho.